Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
I want to apologize first and foremost. We had difficulties on my encoder or whatever on the system that I usually do the show live. It's not working, so we're on Facebook Live right now. Just thought I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, that's
So,
cool. No worries. Whatever works.
we're kind of live, but on a different platform. Uh,
Right.
so I'm joined from Nashville, Tennessee, and let's just get right to it. What made you decide to do music? How did it start it off for you?
Oh man, how did it start? Well, I've always done music. My parents were musicians, and so I grew up just surrounded by music. My dad played in a jazz combo when I was growing up, and my mom was a music teacher. So between the two of them, I've just always been in music. But I made the more serious decision to move to Nashville um, almost 7 years ago. It'll be 7 years ago this coming fall, and kind of buckle down and take things a little bit more seriously here in Music City.
So you live in Nashville, and with country music and all, the it's very very. That's like the mecca of country music, pretty much. Um,
It is.
so what's it like just being around the music scene and interacting with artists and fans, and do you get a sense that there's some competition out there at Nashville?
Yeah, well, there certainly is. I'm not in the country realm of things, which is what the really commercial side of Nashville is focused on. But there are a lot of fish in the sea here. But the cool thing about Nashville is that a lot of people really invest in each other's and help each other out. So I've met a lot of really, incredibly talented people here that I've had opportunities to work with and play with and write with, and it's a really great place to be.
So, like, who do you consider your music influences? Those that you look up to, those that inspired you into doing music?
Well, I was raised on kind of a, pardon me, mix of the Beatles. That's a huge influence of mine. I would say the Beatles, and Bruce Hornsby is another big one, and Jewel as a songwriter is she's the first. She was kind of my inspiration for learning guitar. I started learning some of her songs and singing them, and those were some of the first songs that I ever learned on guitar and learned how to sing. So those are some of my biggest influences.
So, as far as 2018, getting into the end of the first month, if you will, what do you have coming up in 2018 as far as upcoming shows, appearances, things like that?
Yeah, I've got a busy year this year, and I'm super excited about it. I have a record I just went up to Wisconsin at the beginning of this month and tracked it up there at a studio in my hometown in Wisconsin. And that record will be coming out in May, but I'm releasing my first single in March. So everything is being mixed and mastered right now, and the record's available for pre-order. I'm doing a PledgeMusic campaign for that right now, so that's in the works. It's what I'm working on now, and I'm currently booking a tour to support the release of the new record. So it's going to be called Things We'd Rather Not Say.
Speaking of pledge, I'm glad you brought that up. Talk a little bit about that. How did that get started for you? What made you decide to go that route?
Yeah, PledgeMusic I've been so happy with that platform. It's basically, it's similar to Kickstarter, but for musicians, which is really, really awesome. And the team at PledgeMusic is really fantastic. I bumped into the person who started it, Benji Rogers, at a music conference a few years ago, and I was just getting ready to release my first EP, so I decided to do a PledgeMusic campaign for that, and it went great. And it's just a really cool way to offer exclusives to people who invest in your project on the front end of things. So they get to see behind the scenes the whole process of the album being recorded, and they get little pieces of the musical treasures that pop up that no one else gets to see. So I really enjoy working with the Pledge folks, and I'm happy to be doing another one for my record. It's about to close out, so I've just got a week left before the pre-order are done.
So there are plenty of perks, like if you purchase, get involved with this PledgeMusic cause, CDs, autographs, a variety of other things. So you can go check that out, pledgemusic.com/Bri Murphy, Bri Murphy. Check her out. So, Bri, what consider your musical influences, those that got you into music?
Well, like I said, the Beatles were big for me, and Bruce Hornsby and Jewel are big ones. Right now, Jason Isbell I admire a lot, and I don't know if you're familiar with his stuff. He's a big name around Nashville, but he's an incredible songwriter, and he's got an incredible wife who's a songwriter as well. Amanda Shires is somebody I look up to as well. There are a lot of really great local people who are doing great things. Some of my peers I really look up to, and just they're the ones who are, in the trenches with me and help keep each other inspired.
So that's absolutely awesome. I want to give shout out to you, shout out to everybody that does like local music, independent. It's a lot of talented musicians out there, especially those that don't have big platforms, if you will, but are very talented. Yeah. And I think it's very important for everyone out there to support local music, support your local artists, and spread the word as well. Going to the shows, listening to their songs, that's good. But if people will support like local artists as much as they support main artists, and I guess I'm saying that considering the Grammys, and people are going to be so glued to it, and I get all that. So Bri, I want you to go ahead, promote your social media feeds, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, website. People check you out on social media, and where can people hear your music and purchase it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just really quickly off of that, I sure appreciate folks like you who help get the word out about independent music, because it is, we're all kind of one-person machines, and we put a lot of hours into what we do, and you don't really see a lot of that on the social media end of things. You don't see just how much work goes into what we're doing. Everybody in Nashville who's doing music, and everybody who's in any city definitely is doing the job of 6 or 8 people. So it's hard work, but it's so worth it. So thank you for having me on. And yeah, my stuff is, everything is Bri Murphy Music for my socials. So Facebook.com/Bri Murphy Music. That's Bri, Bri, Murphy. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and I've got this, which actually the URL for that is pledgemusic.com/projects/Bri Murphy Music. The other one is my old campaign site. I think that is not active anymore. So you can find me on there. You can also find my EP currently I released it in 2016, and that's out on Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes and Amazon and Google Play, and just about anywhere you listen to music, you can find it. It's called Dirt on My Heart.
Well, Bri, it was great chatting with you. I want to thank you so much for being on with me, given the circumstances, if you will. Continued success in what you do, and again, thanks for your time. Truly appreciate it.
Well, I truly appreciate it as well. Thank you, Kenny.
You have a good night. Have a good weekend.
All right, you do the same.
All right, that was Bri Murphy out of Nashville, Tennessee, and I know there are people out there listening through Facebook Live, and my